everyone checks their Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I try and avoid the home feeds because they're really addictive. There was a guy from Britain who built a Groupon clone, a daily deal site. He sold it for $200 million, and a journalist asked him, what exactly are they buying here? You don't have any tech. He said, they're buying 4.5 million email addresses while it's out ready to buy. That's how powerful emails are. I've seen companies get acquired just for their email lists. Once you have an email, that's one of the most powerful assets any brand can have. The opening of our book is all about the money, the value is in the list. An affiliate we know sells widgets for WordPress, and each one sells for $75. Every time an affiliate brings him sale, he gives that affiliate $75. So he makes $0 on every purchase. However, because of that, he grows his email extremely fast. He has 5 million addresses now, and 1 in every 750 emails that he sends brings a sale. So that adds up really quickly. So how do you collect emails on your website? This is Hello Bar. It sits at the top of your site, requires no code, and collects emails. Has one of those call to actions mentioned earlier, just 10% off, or we discovered a secret of your industry, give us your email and we'll let know. Like a lot of things I talk about, you don't think they'll work until you put them on your site. MailChimp is the industry standard for mailing lists. If you never created one before, really simple to set up. Anyone can have it going in 1 hour. Kickbox helps you get rid of broken email addresses. It's $10 to verify 1,000. This is important because if you have a lot of bounces, so if someone's left the company or they misspelled their email, you're much more likely to hit the spam bin. You can also test the spaminess of your emails here. If you email mail-tester.com, they will say you have too many links, you've used the word free too often, you have too many exclamation marks. All of the things would typically trigger spam bins. If you don't know how to make an email look, use reallygoodemails.com to find other companies like Uber and how they do their emails to get high amounts of clicks. Don't pay for your photos, use StockSnap or Pixabay. They have hundreds of thousands of free images. So you just type in girl, boy, New York, finance, whatever you want, and they will give you high resolution photos that you don't have to give any accreditation for, so for your content and your emails. Review will help you design a mailing list real quick. So you just drop in the links and pictures and it will design it and make it look nice. Wavelength by MailChimp will help you trade email lists with people, so you're trading shout-outs. So let's say you sell weightlifting weights and someone else sells that strange brown steroid powder that weightlifters eat. It will connect you up so that you can give a shout-out in their newsletter for a shout-out in yours. So if they have 1,000 and you only have 500 subscribers, you can swap 2 shout-outs in your newsletter at the start and end for 1 in theirs. Connect 6 is another stalking tool. Go on anyone's Facebook profile and it will bring up all of the other platforms they're on online. So their Quora, their Twitter, their LinkedIn, their Google+, but don't use that because no one does. Email tools. Sidekick enables you to see who opened your email. I know a lot of sales teams, they wait for the person they've emailed to open the email and they call them up and they go, oh, well, actually, I just had your email open. Oh, really? And then it's a good start. Boomerang enables you to see who opened your email later. So you can, rather than talk to your boss, you can send them at 6 o'clock, or if you want to pretend you do yoga, you can send all your emails at 5:30 in the morning. Maelstrom helps you get to inbox 0. You should have 2 inboxes, one for internal and client communications, and one for all the newsletters, meetup, Eventbrite. If you're not at inbox 0, use Maelstrom. It will unsubscribe you from all the newsletters you don't want to be part of, and it will move everything out of your inbox into your archive on Gmail. So it's not deleted, you can still search for it, but it moves out of your inbox. So use Maelstrom for 1 month, it's $10, and then delete it. If you're the person who does sales or raises money in your company, use Streak. So every time someone who could be a sale emails you, you just tick 1 box and it adds it to this sales flow here. So are they a lead? Have they been pitched? Are you negotiating? So you can report back to your boss or founder, this is how sales is going. So generally when you start a company, you're lower down in the power balance than whoever it is you're trying to reach out to. And this sucks because you've spent time to create an email and they may not get back to you, but they should because you spent time to create that email. So Rebump is a Gmail tool. If you email someone and they do not get back to you, Rebump will email them every 4 days forever. it'll be like, just thought I'd try you one more time, just checking you got it. An investor once said there's a 98% chance I didn't see your email and a 2% chance I hate your guts. People want to be harassed, believe me. Quickmail.io will enable you to send thousands of these emails. ChartGo will enable you to create a chart in like 30 seconds. So here's my trick with charts. They should always go up and to the right. Anything where something's being sold or software and service companies don't have salespeople will need email marketing. Kickstarter, generally speaking, you want to get a load of PR on day one. That's the opposite of what we did, but for most companies, that's how you raise money. I've included lots of resources for Kickstarter there. PR Press Hour has thousands of sites who talk about startups. You just do a search, whatever your niche is, and you find multiple sites who at least like talking about whatever it is you do. Hey Press will help you find any journalist in the world. Just type in the name of their magazine or their name or what they write about, and you'll find those journalists. So this is a cheat sheet. So if I was starting a company tomorrow, these are channels I get good at. So if I was starting an online magazine or a publishing company, I get good at Facebook, paid and organic, search engine optimization, and email. If I was doing an e-commerce company, so selling something, I get good at paid social, AdWords, and real-life affiliates. If I was building a social network or B2C app, I'd get good at other social networks bring traffic, real-life influencers, and internal virality, so share this with 5 friends to get bonuses. If I was building an agency, as I am, or if I was consulting or freelance, public speaking is the only thing I need to do to get leads. Software as a service, every single one, everything acquisition channel. And enterprise companies or charities or non-profits, partnerships and board members are your acquisition source. So it won't matter how good your tech is if you can't get into those Fortune 100 companies, if you can't get into government. So you better get good at taking people out to lunch because you want powerful people on your board to open those doors. So that might be it. Unless you want 10 minutes more, you have to scream and shout 5 seconds.
Yeah, baby! 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, never give up.
Alright, anyone here heard of emojis? Emojis dramatically increase engagement rates. Not a lot of people know you can put them in emails. So if you're on the latest Apple, Control, Command, or Spacebar will bring up the emoji bar anywhere you can type. If you're not on the latest Apple, go to iemoji.com and you can copy and paste the emojis into anything, to email, to Twitter, to Facebook, anywhere you want, and it will increase the number of people who reply and comment. Reactiongifts.com is where you can find gifts. So just type in, I am happy, I am angry, I'm disappointed, and it will find you gifts. They're good to drag to your desktop on Safari and drag it into emails. You can also turn any YouTube video to a GIF by adding GIF before the URL, so www.gifyoutube.com, you can create GIFs like that. I've included an app marketing strategy guide if any of you are doing apps, and Typosaurus will help find spelling errors on your site. Every website has one. Trello is incredible for staying organized and project management. So it's a series of rows of cards that you move across from column to column or archive when they're done. You can delegate them to other people in your team so you can see what needs to be done. It's also really good if you work on your own, because if you don't have a boss, you don't have anyone telling you what to do, Trello can be that thing. So you can have what's to be done this week, what's to be done today, and what am I waiting for feedback on. And then if your today is clear and your inbox 0, all of your tasks are done. Flux, all of us stay up too late on our laptops and then have problems sleeping. So Flux blocks out the blue light that comes from your laptop, which keeps you up. So your laptop basically imitates the sun and gives you bright light, so your brain thinks you're still alive. So Flux puts an orange hue on your screen, and you'll notice that you actually start to get tired around midnight and sleep a lot easier. It's incredible. It's free as well. Lean domain search will find all of the available .coms in the world. There are still millions available. So you just type in whatever your keyword is, and it will find you all of the available .coms. So I was searching for God, and I find maingod.com, boldgod.com, icongod, still available. So if God is still available, your app idea probably is too. Anyone here looking to raise money, investors? No? Oh. Normally, founders are looking to raise money from investors. If they are, investorlist.co is entirely crowdsourced with active investors, so you can find investors for whatever you need and start to get intros to. All great entrepreneurs read. These are the 6 books I think anyone starting a company should read. So The 48 Laws of Power is the best book ever written on human psychology. Of all the books I read when I was on welfare before I started my company, this by far was the most practical. This is one where I'd go to an investor meeting or meet an agency and be like, oh, they're trying to play this on me, okay, I can do this thing. So it contains rules like conceal your intentions, pose as a friend but actually be a spy, destroy your enemy totally, act like a king to be treated like one, say less. If you ever gone for a job interview at a big company, they're playing these power games with you. Ever try and raise money, they're playing these power games with you. You don't get to opt out. When you're in business, people are going to try and manipulate you. I just sat next to a billionaire on the way over here, and only when I talked to my coach did I realize that he was belittling me the entire time. It's really, really important you understand the nuances around ego and psychology. On a less amoral note, How to Win Friends and Influence People is also an essential book. So it trains us out of our natural selfishness. So it has things that everyone thinks they do but no one actually does. Things like smile, compliment the other person, never contradict, complain or condemn about the other person. The sweetest sound in the world for the other person is the sound of their own name. Listen. No one basically does any of these things, and they're so powerful in making people like you. The best book ever written on PR is called Trust Me, I'm Lying. So PR can be hacked, like a lot of the other stuff I talked about. I don't have time to go into it, but very briefly, go on Fiverr, Fiverr.com. There are people on there who will write anything for $5 on their blog. These blogs really don't get any traffic, but they look legit. So you can get 10 to 20 people to write up your press statement, word for word on their sites. Then go to the small industry blogs with all of those links, and 10 fake Gmail addresses that you've created, and email them all at once saying, just found this, your blog may like it. Now, any blog that gets 10 emails at once on a news tip is going to take notice. The entire internet journalism industry is based on stealing content off other people. So once you have the small industry blogs that decide to cover your news, you then take those links and email Huffington Post and say, everyone's talking about this, I can't believe you haven't covered it yet. Huffington Post write over 1,500 articles a day. They do not want to miss anything that's trending. And once Huffington Post cover it, you then email AOL, Forbes, all of the big sites. It sounds far-fetched, lots of people have done it. You still need a good product, you still need a good story, but it is possible because of the mechanics of internet journalism to hack it. 0 to 1 is the best book ever written on startups. So Peter Thiel, first investor in Facebook, founder of PayPal, his golden rules for investing in startups are well worth thinking about. Things like, are you building a monopoly so someone can't copy you? Do you have proprietary tech that 4 coders couldn't build in a month? Are you 10 times better than your nearest competitor? These are hard questions, but if you can answer them, you're very investable. 4-Hour Workweek is the best book ever written on traveling the world and living from a laptop. So it has golden rules like put all of your expenses on an American Express gold card and live off the air miles, and outsource everything to the Philippines. They're cheaper and they speak perfect English. Finally, The Hard Thing About Hard Things is the best book ever written on business management. So generally speaking, most business books are written in times of peace. How to increase sales, how to increase motivation, how to increase marketing. None of them are ever about when things are going wrong, which is 90% of running your company. So Hard Thing About Hard Things has chapters like how to fire someone, what to do when your co-founder isn't pulling their weight, what to do when you've stolen an employee of one of your friend's companies. Like all of the very difficult things in management. So for instance, someone came to Ben Horowitz and said, look, I've got an offer from another company, if you match it, I'll stay. He needed that developer to finish a project, so he gave him the raise. He almost killed his company with that decision, which sounds entirely logical. Word got out around the office that the way to get a raise was to get an offer from another company. The entire office did it at once and nearly killed the company. So there's lots of examples in here that sound logical but will help you out. When I coach people, they always say, I have too much to do. My answer is always split your to-do list into things that directly make you money and things that don't, and then only do the side that directly makes you money. You'll be surprised how much the second side doesn't work. It could be you don't need to do content marketing, social media, admin, accounting, legal. All of this stuff can wait. All that matters is buying and selling. Something I started doing recently, having a board meeting with myself. Once a week at a set time, I put on a shirt and tie, and I'm like, is everyone here? Yes. And then I start the board meeting. And you want to have one target that week that's normally numerical. If you've hit it, you've had a good week. If not, you've had a bad week. You can't say, I tried hard this week, it was a good week. It's got to be like, traffic on my side project increased 20%. If you've hit it, good. Once you've done this for a few weeks, you'll start texting your friends, the investors are going to be unhappy. And they're like, what are you talking about? If you have a co-founder, maybe do it. Don't listen to most people. Like, I've not talked about Series A or how to sell a company because it's not something I've ever done. But there are thousands of bloggers and people who give talks who talk about things they've never done. So don't listen to most people. Never listen to someone who's not done the thing that you want to do. Just focus on building and selling and growing users. I'm looking to meet interesting startups founders who have raised money or people wanting to grow their social followings and personal brands. I'm looking to give more talks at conferences and around America, so any intros around that would be really appreciated. And also, I have my book. I realize I've gone super fast today, but I have created Secret Sauce, a step-by-step guide to growth hacking, just come out on Kickstarter. So that's available right now. I think it's bit.ly/secret sauce now. And that goes into everything I haven't covered: content marketing, search engine optimization, paid AdWords, paid Facebook, and all of the other stuff I have in much more detail. People tend to want to end on a high note, but I'm going to end on a low note. I want you to ask yourself these questions. Why don't our customers like us? If our company went out of business tomorrow, would anyone who doesn't get a paycheck here care? How can we become the company that would put us out of business? Are we relevant? If we weren't already in this business, would we enter it today? And if not, what are we going to do about it? Do you have at least 50% of your time free for emergencies, things overrunning, and coming up with new ideas to solve problems? Who on the executive team has spoken to a customer recently? So few startups do this, it's amazing. And finally, what do we need to start doing? So there's a problem with people in this room. Everyone in this room spends more time on Facebook each day than they do washing themselves. And that's a problem because Facebook is completely random and provides no value. So stay focused. It's a Google Chrome plugin. If you use it, if you use Facebook for more than 10 days, it physically blocks you out, so you cannot browse Facebook in your browser. You can't even type the word Facebook at the top. And yes, you can use another browser, but you feel dirty doing it. So with all of that extra time you save by not being on Facebook, you can start to do all of the growth hacks I've done and start to do all the exercises from my growth hacking book. Thank you for watching me, Dallas. This is the second American tour I've been on. Thank you for being part of my American dream. So you can email me the slides and I will send them out to you all and info on the book. If you have any questions, generally the best format for questions is, this is my company, this is my marketing problem, what would you do? Because then the rest of the room gets value.
So the one slide that was like, is that how we feel? Vincent, thank you. How many people are here who have never heard of any of the organizations that we put on that list? How many people are here because Vincent found you? It's a good number. It's about a third of the room, 20% of the room. Considering that we work really hard at reaching out to all the startup community. And we think we kind of know everybody who's everybody. So welcome, y'all, new ones who don't know any of those other startup hubs in Dallas. We want you to join us and get to know us. And Vincent, thank you for making them more. We don't have subways in Dallas, but we have other places we can go and meet people face to face. That's a big message for us. Geniusden has a three-part mission to be a force multiplier, to bring the future into the present, and to interrupt cycles of poverty. And one part of the cycles of poverty is all the junk we're doing that's not working, the things that are working. Joseph Pellegrin got stuck in traffic, has a video for us. He's been to Africa, he's going back again, he's working. I you have a question, and I hope you do, you can grab the mic there, and we can capture it. I realize I just walked off camera, so here I am off camera. So we have any questions that we'd like to throw out at Vincent, and we can post those out. Would you grab the mic? That'll help us get it all on sound. Or just, you can yell it out, and then Vincent can repeat it if you'd like. Then we'll do a few minutes of questions, then we'll wrap up and get on out of here. Over at the Common Desk, if y'all know where the Common Desk is, there's another awesome startup event right now.
Expose UX.
Expose UX, thank you. Expose UX is starting and rolling until like 9 or 10 o'clock. So we'll go over to Expose UX and help support those guys over there. So here's Vincent with other question or other answers to your questions.
We can all drink Lone Star beer. Yeah.
So I think my voice carries. I run a small startup with SaaS company, and I completely follow your list, but it's just me doing all of those things. So my question would be, where do you put your priorities? Because under SaaS, you said all of the above, and I know I'd have to clone myself into at least 5 or 6 or 7 people. So if you don't have 5 or 6 or 7 more people, and you're basically wearing a whole lot of hats already, what would be the one thing that you would tell me I should do?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of asking for a silver bullet. Like, it really depends. I will answer the question, but to get round to it, the best growth hacks are ones that people have not heard about. So, for instance, my friends who run the events app, they took a photo of themselves, and the sign said, once you found your match on Tinder, use our app to find a really good date spot. Then they automatically right swipe every girl in London. So they got thousands of matches, and the girls are like, what's this? And they're like, find a great date spot, check out our app. And you can put links in Tinder. 50 million people use Tinder every day, and no one thinks to use it as a lead source. So firstly, this is all meant for inspiration, like find the best places to do it. Secondly, I have a wide range of tools, partly because some of you run businesses, some of you run apps, some of you are doing marketing for corporate companies. So I give a wide range of tools so that everyone has at least 3 or 4 that they can use. So you're not meant to do all of them. A good rule of thumb is to try 3 of them each week and see which ones take off. This is probably the #1 question I asked. So my stock answer is, if you have no money, the best 3 to focus on are public speaking, Twitter, and Facebook groups. There you can go the furthest, the quickest, if you quickly learn how to do it and quickly learn how to scale up.
Because you live in the enterprise space, so that means the free followers and all those things don't pay.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably public speaking then. Yeah.
Yeah. Want to go over here?
Yes.
By the way, if you have a great question, then we have this awesome multi-charger that has a little Geniusden
So if
logo.
I don't get that question,
So if you have a bad question,
No pressure.
you don't get one automatically.
okay.
Do your best.
So you mentioned about emails, that was the best thing, and you went really fast through that, and obviously we're going to see the slide deck or anything. I've got a list of probably, I don't know, maybe 1,000 emails right now from existing customers. If you had one recommendation out of all that stuff, I mean, what would I go home tonight and do with that list? I mean, what would you focus on if you had 1,000 from your existing customers?
So what I did when I started my Kickstarter, because I'd been accruing them for the last year, giving talks and people joining my mailing list. The first thing you do is on MailChimp, you can use a template that's called no template. And that looks as if you're just sending someone an email. So call the title something like catch up, and then just start the email as if, hey, what have you been working on recently? One thing I've realized is that, and then like very conversational, and then they start to read the email, and then at the end they may see the very small unsubscribe button. But once you have half their attention, I would do that. I would introduce some sort of referral mechanism so that people bring other people in, and people bring traffic to your website and get them to do that. You didn't tell me what you did either.
This business is an online store that sells protein powders, vitamins, things of that nature.
Yeah, affiliates. If you can get big affiliates to like $200, well, yeah, you could do what I said, give away 100% generally speaking, at the very start of my talk, those are the tools that have been the most relevant for you. So you growth hack finding someone's email address. Use something like crystalknows.com, crystal, Knows. That will tell you how to email someone, like formally, informally, aggressively. So you use all of those tools to get in the room with them, and then then you close the deal as normal. But you use these tools to reach out to hundreds of people at Nike at once. That could all lead you to the space. So you can have sales arms, which take ages. Rather than researching each person, Charlie app will find you everything about them. So you can pick up the phone and offer them tickets to their sports team, and then start talking to them. I don't know who's next, so I'm going to just close guessing.
I wish I had four. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a fashion designer in Dallas. My question is, well, I'm actually in the process of developing something sort of like a marketplace, like freelancer, but it's serving like technical fashion designers. So my question is like, when you're in a situation like, you know, a chicken or egg, which comes first? Because you have to have a large base of user sign up before you would attract people looking for such services. Like when you're in a situation like this, how do you market? How do you go about marketing yourself and like attract people to come to try to use your website?
So when you're building a two-sided marketplace, you need the supply side first, set of people who will be doing the designing.
Okay.
And then, in theory, they're meant to put it on their social channels and drag people in. So for instance, with Planet Idol, we thought getting the writers would bring traffic in. It actually doesn't work like that. That's a very basic. That's like the first thing you need to do. Second thing you need to do is you have to act as a concierge service to bring them clients. So otherwise, you can sign them up. Like you can just do a Twitter search for fashion designers, tweet at all of them, and then get a percentage convert. But then they'll sign up and they'll never come back. So you need to bring them customers. So building the second side of the market, I would recommend doing what I do. Do public speaking and give away as much value as possible. Like I say, all my email mailouts, reply it and ask me anything about your company, and I'll reply it. And like it takes ages to do because I have 1,000 people on my mailing list. But then that will be your customer side, people who you build a community with. So your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, email, you can have small communities on each one that all add up. And then when you build the platform, you connect them with the suppliers.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What tools would you recommend using for grabbing mobile analytics?
For grabbing mobile analytics?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Using the apps and so to run analytics on the mobile apps.
What are you trying to find out? Sorry.
User behaviors, times that they are, how many different screens that they're clicking on, what time.
That might be a big data play where you need something like Crimson Hexagon, although I don't think they do mobile data.
Yeah.
The hack for that would be to build a professional-looking website with addresses in New York, America, LA, London, everywhere, and then call them up and say, I want a 3 weeks trial for my massive corporation, and then give them access to that data. Because big data is expensive. So I guess the hack would be to pretend you're a big company and then give them, and then let them give you free access and then change your phone number or whatever. Yep.
Through Twitter, I just found your Kickstarter link and a free trial or a free chapter
Yeah.
for Secret Sauce, and I'm noticing that you have a fantastic gamification app on there.
Yeah.
And for sharing you get points, and for posting you get points, and commenting you get points. Is that something that you provide, or is that something that you have an affiliate link that you can give
Yeah,
us?
I can hook you up. So I use qapp.com and queueat.com. They're currently only enterprise, but I know they're for marketing agencies only. So I run a marketing agency, so they gave it to me. But in a few weeks, they're launching something for startups, and it's going to be incredible. So that will eventually be ready for startups. Matra, for now, if you need to use it right now, will do pretty much the same thing. But yeah, that queuing system is the reason we made so much on Kickstarter.
That's phenomenal, what you're doing here. I have to compliment it.
Great, thank you. It's all pointing towards buying the book.
Buy
use audience. Type in for me founder, entrepreneur, CEO, and then town equals Dallas, town equals Houston, where I am next week, town equals Austin. And then you need quite a few accounts if you're going to send a lot of tweets. But yeah, and always make sure you're only tweeting to people who've tweeted in the last 3 months, because that cuts out most of the bots. Yeah.
Where can I buy your book?
Kickstarter. I think bit.ly/secret sauce now, all lowercase will find it. If you go on my Twitter, every other link is Kickstarter. Search secret sauce on Kickstarter, scroll to the top in publishing.
You have that information here to work?
I really should. I don't have it physically, but if you search my name, or everyone who emails me, I'm going to send you a link to it as well. So yeah, and there's packages on there for me to consult with you, which is cheaper than I normally charge, so to talk about your company on Skype, as well as be selling the book.
Is this session recorded?
Pardon?
Is this session recorded? Is there a way to get an access to this?
Geniusden.com.
Okay.
Now it's your turn to promote.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
I created an app 2 years ago, totally forgot about it, but it has currently 11,000 downloads. But Tapcore came and wanted to buy the app, and I'm not even really familiar with the app space too much. I'm a blogger. However, they came back a week later saying, can we put our code for me to generate monthly revenue? So is Tapcore legitimate? You know, have you heard of Tapcore or never?
If someone offers you money, like sell what you're doing. That's one of the golden rules. Yep.
I'm an independent contractor and orthodontist. I work in 4 different general dental offices, and I just want to market myself, distinguish myself from the pack, and reach out to new patients. Kind of different from everyone else, but which one of the avenues do you think I should go down?
Orthodontist is teeth, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so guest blogging on Huffington Post. What you've got to, like with blogging, the key is you have to be vulnerable. Like you have to write things that scare you, and it's tricky when you're in a serious niche or you work for a corporation. But if you can put the 10 secrets orthodontists will never tell you, maybe one of the gases they use can kill you, and you put that on Huffington Post, they're going to publish that article, and you become a thought leader. But that's a minor, but as mentioned, you need a small number of people to pay you a high amount of money, public speaking. So how you're going to find that market, I don't know, maybe parents are really into teeth and their kids, and you put on something to make sure your kids don't get cavities, talks on braces and stuff. Yeah, public speaking, generally speaking, is going to be the one. But you can get away with doing some really interesting stuff by scaring people. Yeah.
What resource do you suggest for taking a leap from where you were to getting into the whole growth hacking, get started?
Like having your ass in the chair. Like that's really the difference between when I was signing on for a welfare check and doing this now. It's just spending a lot of time. Like all of this stuff, it sounds like I'm just kind of finding them and bringing them out. But all of them is like trying 5 things that fail and then realizing this is how you do Instagram, this is how you do Twitter. Like it really is just having your ass in the chair, saying no to things. I never drink caffeine. I rarely drink alcohol. Rarely see friends, no girlfriend. Like it requires a lot to be like out here touring America. I mean, it's my favorite thing to do, but like it requires a lot of sacrifice. That's really all I can tell you. And then you'll come up with your own secret sauce that will be way better than mine.
Vincent's available. Just saying.
That's going to be the easiest way to get a visa.
Yeah.
How old are you?
number, if you're trying to sell to a small number of people, it's probably better to get those emails and use something like Discoverly to get a warm intro, or Conspire as well. Conspire will help you find connections to people. Like generally, warm intros are just a different league to emailing people cold. Emailing people cold is good for when you're doing what I do, like selling something at a low price, like $60 for the ebook, and then a few will buy it off 1,000. But yeah, I never did an email list when I was, well, while I'm doing this consultancy that's like X thousand dollars to hire me per month. It's all one-to-one interactions. Yeah.
How do you feel about holding pages for websites under construction?
I heard really good things about leadpages.com. I've heard the #1 giveaway. It's not webinars, it's not coaching. Apparently it's a free PDF. That's why we went with free chapters on our book. So yeah, holding pages are really powerful. The trick is where you're going to get the traffic to it. That's the bit where everyone falls down. The general rule of thumb, the easiest traffic flow is Twitter to website, grab email, sell them to email.
I've done a lot of big websites like Dallas Humble, Justin, Skull Candy, but now I'm switching over to the growth hacking side because these companies are finding that SEO is so saturated. What are your takes on new things like Medium? I haven't heard you talk about those as far as leveraging that channel or even the newer ones, because not to take anything from anybody here, but these channels for me are a bit still saturated. I'm looking for, leveraging Craigslist or, things that these other companies haven't done yet that may, in a sense, be saturated as far as people doing the same things in those niches already. For instance, if I ran across you and you were a growth hacker for a company, we could be in the very same niche. So these things you're listing right now could very well be saturated, as I was stating. What are your takes on any newer channels like Medium or
Well,
even over that Snapchat?
So Craigslist, it used to be great. Then you could post unlimited ads on Craigslist, and that was amazing. That's why Airbnb were doing it. Now you need like phone verification and can only post once every 5 minutes or 2 hours or something. So Craigslist is a bit played out. Well, the reason I've stayed on Twitter so long is clicks. Like, if you work with big agencies, you can say, we delivered you 100,000 impressions. And they go, wow, that's amazing. They literally don't care if they get any more sales from it. But when you work